Welcome to GaiaTica, an organic architecture found just outside of San Jose in Costa Rica. We were fortunate to discover this space, perform some practices, and record some videos during our Unite the World Firsthand, Drive Around the Whole World global movement. Today, we meet with the architect and builder, Veronica Anderson.
Hey everyone, I'm Jesse Hart of Full Circle Phenomenal.
I'm Catherine Hart of Infinite Cummings.
I'm Veronica Anderson, visionary architect.
We have Veronica here today inside GaiaTica, a space that she designed herself and created by hand here at the Julia and David White Artist Colony in Ciudad Colón in Costa Rica. Veronica, what style of architecture is this? What is architecture to you?
This is a sacred space, so my practice is sacred architecture and listening to the land. I use sacred geometry and organic forms inspired by nature. This is biophilic design. The love of nature is what biophilia means. And so whenever I'm listening to the land to create a space, I really want it to be a blessing to the land and not a burden or any kind of... If we're going to build a space, it should be worth the materials and effort that we're using. If we're taking something from the land, I want to give back even more with the architecture.
That's really beautiful. I feel like a lot of architects nowadays are just focused on like fulfilling a job based off of what the client wants. It's more of a corporate atmosphere, so you're really shining bright in a different way as an architect. Yeah, you like listen to the land, not what the people want. It's more about what Earth wants. That's really awesome.
And the natives too. You discussed this plan with the natives before you started building, correct?
Yes, I asked for permission from the Wetar people, who are the indigenous community that's just down the road from where we are now, and made sure to offer my respects to the spirits of this land, to the ancestral keepers of this truly pristine nature. We're on the side of a beautiful hill in the Central Valley of Costa Rica, and this is some of the last dry forest in Costa Rica. And so we didn't cut down any trees to do this. These timbers are actually reclaimed branches from living trees that were going to be trimmed anyway. So
Amazing.
we're giving back in a big way through this space.
So what inspired you to build this space in particular?
Well, we're at the Julia and David White Artist Colony, which is named for two young artists who took their own lives. And they were very creative people, and so this space is in their memory because we really want to support sensitive people who see the world differently and give them a sanctuary, a space where they can come and connect with themselves and do their art, practice in their process, and perform as well and offer their gifts. So we wanted something that could help people connect to themselves, to each other, and to nature. And so we built this space.
Yeah, Catherine and I did a series of videos as well as a couple performances here. We fire spun down on the deck. One of our students, actually our 13th student along the Unite the World Firsthand Drive Around the World global movement, did his first fire spin here, and Catherine's student had her first hoop spin. We've taught a couple of online flow arts classes as well as yoga classes. Catherine's going to be recording one today. Besides these sort of activities, what other things could you see happening in this space?
Ecstatic dances, yoga classes, anything that involves conscious movement. We've had some really, really beautiful musical performances out on the deck with the forest as the backdrop. Is really special. There's been some theatrical performances as well.
Cool.
There's no limit to what this space can facilitate.
Now, what do you see for yourself into the future in designing spaces like this?
That's a good question.
Something else that is important to me about architecture is that it's a social advocacy or some kind of public service. So First, we design our buildings, and then they design us.
Ah.
We respond in this reciprocal feedback loop to our environment. And so spaces like this, which are curved and peace-inducing and open to nature, that rejuvenate the senses, are so needed in the world. And so this is really the art that I want to bring to the world through architecture. And I call this feminine architecture because it's very embodied. It's very grounded in the practice of presence. And it helps to bring us more deeper into an awareness of what life is, of what it is to be a human.
Right.
And I feel that if we were in more spaces like this that had beautiful sacred geometry and colorful, soft textures, then we would be able to think differently. We would have more open minds, and we would have more open hearts. And perhaps then we could have a world which works for everyone, where we are able to really listen to the minority and work on the fringe to create more integration and equality and equity, and really receive the diversity of humanity with openness.
Nice.
So that's how I'd like to use architecture as activism.
Wow.
I definitely notice it's easy to notice the difference between walking to a cubicle office space. It's plain, square, completely straight lines all around, and something like this. The feeling is completely different. This one is so much more open and liberating, but still motivating to work. How do you see the potential of kind of combining that masculine sort of workspace efficiency, get stuff done, and creative flow spaces that set people free like this?
Well, I think it's only natural to see the merging of the patriarchal and matriarchal ways of designing and organizing our society, and that we are alive at a time when that's just organically happening. I think that we can liberate our human potential by respecting our bodies, and the fact that sitting all day long is a death sentence, and that not having natural air, natural light, and ventilation makes us sick.
Right.
There's something called sick building syndrome, which even before the pandemic, we spent 90% of our lives inside buildings. And that makes us sick, hence the name.
Right. Nature is more of our nature.
Exactly. Exactly. So I see this resurgence of the feminine in the practice of design and development through our listening to the land. So historically, modern architects would, there's a movement called modernism in architecture, and basically they were all about tabula rasa, the white blank slate, and they would come to a site and just remove everything. All the topography, all the trees, all the rocks, all the animals, and then they would design something that looked beautiful to the human eye.
Right.
So our definition of beauty can start to evolve to honor the natural and organic beauty that we witness in a forest,
Right.
or in a valley where we're looking at the mountains and we just feel so touched, or when we look at clouds and the sunset and we're overcome with emotion. We can start to create experiences like that in our architecture, and
It's really beautiful.
in that way inspire greater creativity, more productivity, innovation. Spaces like Google and like Google's office are starting to inspire us. Like, oh, maybe we could get massages at work and be more productive.
Have more fun.
Love that.
Keep work playing, as we call it. Putting those two things together, so there's no need to separate our work from our play, our vocation from our vacation. We can enjoy our lives. And but a big part of it is enjoying the flow of the energy of the space that you occupy yourself in most of the time. Because though we do need to get out more, odds are people are still gonna, as patterns continue, we still see ourselves in lots of structures. But this offers the opportunity of actually being inside and outside at the same time. What are kind of the pluses and minuses of having a space that is simultaneously indoors and outdoors?
Well, we have to get closer to nature. We have to accept that our feet might get dirty, and we have to clean when we come into it, because the rain and the dust can come in. It can be a little hot sometimes, and those are the minuses. The plus is you feel like you can breathe more deeply. you immediately feel a calmness of mind.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. It's so
The air
so
in and of
relaxed.
itself creates an atmosphere.
But
We're
it's
right by the trees.
The creativity and the view makes it more excited, but it's also relaxed. And that's always what I seek to show people, that a yoga session can bring to them, which is a sense of calm and a sense of energy. And this entering the space in and of itself does both of those things for me.
Wonderful. Nice.
How does it make you feel to come into this space?
Calm. I feel less excited to be. I feel like there's a balance of excitement and calm, but I definitely feel more calm in this space. I think that there's like a flow. I'm tapping in more to like the curves of everything, and then being kind of like tucked into the trees. We don't have like a really spacious view of like a big valley with like, it's all just trees, but it's a lot. I mean, you know, we're looking at the same scape. Like I could easily take my mind and like make it something else, but the fact that it's all close-knit trees makes it feel more like warm, cozy, and comforting. That's calm to me.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
This is a circular space, so it was designed to feel embracing. And the nature of the circle is to embrace, but most of our buildings are designed with 90-degree angles and straight lines.
Right, rigidity.
So that
More like a
rigidity,
box.
those boxes make us think inside the box.
Right.
And when we come into this space, we're thinking in a more flow state, which I know your people understand to the utmost degree, and I bless that deeply. Because that's really what we're asked to evolve into at this time in human history, is can we be more present and fully embodied in the moment? And I think that spaces like this can help us to feel more calm and alert.
Yeah.
Which is what they say enlightenment feels like.
Yeah.
Catherine and I are finding, as we get to know Veronica more and more, the parallels and synchronicities between us. One and such is Catherine and I, driving around the whole world, are looking to connect spaces like this through what we call the All Local Trail, and we'll do another video on that coming up. But Veronica also has another project called Home Dash that's measuring the Earth's heartbeat by connecting these sacred spaces together. Can you tell us a little bit about your Home Dash project?
Yeah, thank you. It's so beautiful to meet you guys that are uniting the world firsthand, because for sure my deepest intention is to create more unity on Earth, and not just between humans, but between humans and the planet. So I wanted to create a dashboard where you could open an app on your phone and see the heartbeat of Mother Earth. And I have a background in data visualization and mapping for sustainable development. So this is in my wheelhouse, and about 5 years ago, I received a download that Home Dash wanted to happen. And so I've been putting all the time since then into research and development, and we're finally launching the project this summer. We're designing the different ways that we can help support the United Nations achieve their 2030 Sustainable Development Goals. Reducing hunger and poverty and disparity between men and women, among others. And so this application is going to empower grassroots sustainable development by giving a platform to organizers in communities that may not have resources to share their story and to become part of this global movement in a way that's visible, in a way that governments and corporations and communities can all go to the same place to see the story of our new sustainable world happening in real time.
This is what it's being replaced with. Like
so beautiful to see the regenerative movement that's happening. It's happening, but we can't see it. And so a lot of times we can feel discouraged and separate, like we know we have solutions, we are ready to offer them, but how do we reach people? So Home Dash is really about that, and helping to create solutions for our toughest problems, like river pollution, deforestation, poverty, and beyond.
Wow, that's great.
It's a big project.
Yeah. And we'll be sure to continue with updates both here on YouTube of our collaborations as well as on Facebook. on the Unite the World Firsthand All Local Conscious Collective, as well as Veronica's pages. We'll also include some links of the videos that Catherine and I created here and the practices and performances that we applied to this space and worked out beautifully. We're definitely going to be excited to see how this place continues to evolve and see other places around the world that may want to co-collaborate and send teachers and students and practitioners, performers, work this exchange, because this feels very open, and we really appreciate how open and willing you were for us to continue to participate as much as possible.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you so much for filling this space with inspiration and movement. It's really, 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 really beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
To connect with Veronica, go to her website, veronica.earth, check out her Instagram @visionaryarc, or contact her via WhatsApp. To connect Jesse and Catherine with other spaces and grow the Unite the World Firsthand movement, reach out via WhatsApp, +1 360 601 0826, or discover more in the video description below. Thanks so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share.